What's going on, you guys? Charlie here from MAPerformance. Today I'm coming to you with another top 5, and I'm sure by looking at the car behind me and the intake in front of me that you already know today we're talking about intakes for the FK8 Type R, but not just any intakes. We're talking about our top 5 best-selling intakes for the platform. We're gonna break them down in no particular order, but you're gonna wanna hang around to hear number 5 because it is my personal favorite, and I like to think that that matters for something. We're gonna go ahead and break it down. Now, I do wanna preface this with, if you are shopping for an intake for your car, keep in mind that on this platform alone, the factory airbox actually functions incredibly well. So adding an aftermarket intake to your car may not add a ton of horsepower without an appropriate tune to match. And obviously the supporting bolt-ons outside of it as well. Like I said, an intake alone, not gonna change a ton. However, nothing beats the sound of the sweet induction noise coming out from under the hood. Let's not waste any more time. First on the list, we had to use our own for the number 1. So number 1 is gonna be the MAPerformance Intake for the FK8 Civic Type R. Now, this one coming in at just about $385, just shy of. This one's a great intake, made of stainless steel with the heat shield included and our custom blend, if you want to call it that, of air intake from K&N. A lot of development went into developing our intake material. And again, ours does include that velocity air stack. It's actually a billet velocity stack that goes inside the air intake itself. I challenge you to go check it out. Check out that link down below to check out more information about ours. But again, includes the air stack, has our custom K&N air filter, includes the heat shield, has a billet velocity stack. I mean, come on now, what more could you ask for? And plus, through our testing, we found we were able to add a decent amount of power to the car with it. So again, with the appropriate bolt-ons, it functions at high horsepower numbers. What more do you need from an intake? That's gonna be the first one on the list, but without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into number 2 on the list. All right, you guys, now the second intake on the list, we had to go with the far other side of the contrast spectrum when we're looking at a cost perspective. So I'm sure you've already guessed by now, we're talking about the Eventuri carbon fiber air intake system for the FK8 Civic Type R. Now, with that being said, the Eventuri intake functions nearly as well as all of the other intakes on the market based on, you know, some of the third-party testing that we've looked at. And on top of that, you can't beat the subtle flex that comes with opening the hood on your car to reveal, you know, this amazing carbon fiber air intake box. Now, the amazing thing about the Eventuri intake is that, again, the entire thing is made of carbon fiber, besides obviously the air intake itself, the filter portion. Now, again, that does really well with shielding the heat from the air intake filter itself so that you can ensure you're getting the coldest possible air. Not to mention, this one also has a secondary set of air ducts that are gonna help flow, to help increase the flow getting to the air filter itself, and obviously help with drawing in the coldest possible air you can get to the air intake itself. All carbon fiber, but like I said, this is on the completely opposite end of the pricing spectrum. While ours was coming in at around $385, this one's coming in at just shy of $1,500. So if you are on the market for an air intake and you're on a budget, this probably wouldn't be the one for you. However, it is an amazingly awesome intake that's always in high demand and definitely one of the top sellers on our site. Without further ado, let's move into number 3 on the list. All right, you guys, third on our list is the AEM air intake system for the FK8 Civic Type R, as you would expect, right? What other car would it be for in this video? But this one coming in at only $325. So far this is the most budget-friendly option on our list, and the AEM intake is nice. I mean, obviously from a brand as reputable as AEM, you'd expect nothing less. But with that being said, it does include a heat shield. It does have an aluminum pipe to connect from the airbox itself to the actual MAF itself. Other than that, the intake is backed by AEM's lifetime warranty. Only thing that I personally wish came on this intake would be some sort of velocity stack to help smoothen the airflow that's just making its way into your engine. With that being said, if you're interested in the AEM intake, it's a great option for you. They've obviously put a lot of time into developing their materials that they're using, so it is a great product. Again, my only wish was that it had that built-in velocity stack, but you're saving some money, so they've definitely taken into consideration someone who's budget conscious at the very least. So number 4 on the list, you guys, is gonna be the Injen intake for the platform, obviously. This one does include a heat shield. It does also have that built-in velocity stack. It does have an oil-free air filter, which is Injen's proprietary air intake material, which again helps with actually, being that it's oil-free, it's a lot easier to clean and maintain for the longevity of you using it for your vehicle. Obviously, as time goes on, these things get dirty, and with this one, you can clean it as opposed to having to replace it, which is super nice. The intake is actually made of an aluminum material, so lightweight, gonna help you with some of the heat soak properties and things of that nature as well. So being that it is aluminum, you should be in good hands. Now this one does come in at a price of about $375, so it's not the cheapest, but far from the most expensive, being 1,500 bucks. So with this, if you have some brand loyalty, this is a great option for Injen products. Again, it's a phenomenal intake. All right, you guys, now, number 5 on the list, last but most certainly not least, if you haven't guessed by now, is the PRL High Volume Air Intake. This is my personal favorite, aside from our own, due to my own biases, obviously, but this one, aside from our own, is my favorite intake that's on the market. PRL makes a phenomenal product, as everyone here, anybody watching this video should be aware of at this point. We've compared it to many other intakes on the market, and this one performs incredibly well, even when taken into consideration on with third-party testing. So incredibly well-designed product using very quality materials. The airbox is actually a roto-molded plastic intake box, which actually does a phenomenal job of shielding heat from the air intake itself. Now the actual piping material is made of a 4-ply silicone, so this is really durable. It's going to actually ensure that you're not getting as much heat soak at all. The common consensus is that you're going to have to use some type of metal piping or plastic piping, but this silicone tubing does a great job of really just getting that air in the smoothest possible way into your engine. So this does a great job of that. Now it does come with an additional set of piping, well, silicone tubing, I guess, that would attach to their turbo inlet pipe. So we actually got our hands on a titanium coated version of their inlet pipe pre-release. And so we actually had this hooked up to our car at one point. And it functioned phenomenally well. So if you're running the stock inlet piping, you would use this. If you're using the titanium or their aftermarket inlet piping, then you have another option. So they actually have gone through and thought through the different setups that you may be running, and they include it with both. So that's phenomenal. It also does include a race MAF housing option, which is obviously for people that are running a lot more boost, that have a lot more air flowing through the MAF housing itself. Now, if you do have that and you are planning to run the intake with a larger MAF housing, you would want to make sure that you appropriate that with the right kind of tune. I guess the only thing maybe missing from this is some of the more detailed specs. Pricing wise, you're looking at this at $395, which again is a little bit more than some of the other intakes on the market, but it is, in my opinion, well worth the money. That's gonna be our top 5, you guys. Let us know what you think about the top 5 list that we made. Again, if you're looking for any of these products for your FK8, go ahead and check the links down in the description where you could check out any one of these intakes directly on our site, MAPerformance.com, where we're home of the MAP guarantee, fast free shipping on orders over $199, price match guarantee even post-purchase. Yes, you heard me correctly. Even after you buy it, we'll price match for up to 30 days. And not to mention, we got car guys just like me and you on the phone ready to help you out with all of the buying questions you may have if you're still not sold. So go ahead, give us a call, 188-MA-Performance. If you liked the video, leave us a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us a big thumbs up because that's how YouTube knows that you're liking the content we make. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next top 5 video. We'll see you then. Peace.